What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another match preview, and it is Tottenham against AZ Alkmaar under the lights at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for our third European game of the campaign, and another chance to keep that 100% record going. Oh, it's our third or fourth? Third. So we're one of only 5 teams that have kept the 100% record so far. We'll get into the nitty-gritties of the game in a minute, but I just want to say welcome to the stream, and we're going to get into the predicted lineup up first. This stream is brought to you by SofaScore, so please do go to the description below, download the app, or you can use that lovely QR code at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen as well. But without further ado, let's get into the predicted lineup in terms of the team news after Ange Postecoglou's press conference. What have we got?
So, obviously Jed Spencer's ineligible, so he's not available for this game. Wilson Odebear was seen in training today, so that's really positive news. And Andrew was asked about him in his press conference, and he said he should be in the squad and get some game time. It doesn't sound like he's going to start, but he said game dependent, he will get some game time. Sounds like if we're winning, he'll come on, essentially. And I guess the biggest news was Heung-min Son was not seen in training today, giving a lot of panic to a lot of Spurs fans as to his fitness and whether his availability. Ange did allay those fears a bit in his press conference, saying that he was never going to be involved on Thursday, so basically they're going to try and keep him fresh for Sunday, so he's not going to be playing tomorrow, essentially. But he said he was a bit sore after the game against West Ham, so just wanted to be careful with him.
Yeah, and I think it's right to do so. After just coming back, making such an impact in the game against West Ham, you want to just err on the side of caution with Sonny and be in there for the really big games.
Yeah, but I wonder, does that mean he hasn't been training all week?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's hard to know, isn't it? Because we only know about the training session today because that's the one caught on camera.
I'm sure they have been training during the week.
Yeah, I'm sure they have.
I'd assume. I mean, the game was Saturday. Obviously, Sunday they'd probably have off, and then I'm assuming Monday, Tuesday he'd be training.
Yeah, did he say in the press conference that he felt sore after the game, or he felt sore after training?
I'm pretty sure he said after the game. He said after Sunday.
If he hasn't trained all week, then that's more of a concern than just about today.
Yeah, he said after the weekend. He said he felt sore after the weekend.
I mean, if he's still feeling sore, then after the day after the game, that is a bit of a concern, isn't it?
Yeah, so maybe there is doubts about him on Sunday. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'd assume if he's feeling sore today and hasn't trained, that implies he hasn't been training all week, or unless he has been training, just don't want to overdo it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to wait and see for the press conference before the game at the weekend against Crystal Palace to find out further info on that. But let's get into our predicted lineup. 4-3-3 as per usual, and in goal is obviously going to be Big Vic.
Yeah, our Europa League keeper. He's been playing every Europa League game. He's played every Europa League game. Sorry, been pretty good in Europa League actually. He's made some big saves in Europa League, and he's vital. So. The way AZ play, I do assume he's going to have some saves to make, to be honest. So we're going to have to be on top of his game. Yeah,
absolutely. Coming up against Spurs old boy and Troy Parrott as well. At right back, I think Pedro Porro is probably going to get a bit of a rest in this one. So we're siding with Archie Gray to step in at right back.
Yeah, so Porro did play the last Europa League game. So yeah, we're assuming Gray. Obviously, Gray needs minutes. He needs to start games. He's looked good whenever he's played. And we're going to put him at right back for this one, albeit last couple of appearances he's played now was left back. West Ham, he came on a left back. Obviously, Ferencváros started at centre back, then moved to left back. But we do think he's going to play right back this one.
Yeah, and also because the fitness of Destiny have been kind of up and down throughout the season as well. And Pedro Porro's kind of had a smooth sailing into the season so far. Right centre back, we are going to go for Radu Dragusin. Obviously, he hasn't filled Spurs fans with that much confidence in terms of the Coventry game. Karabag game, he got sent off after 7 minutes, so I think Dragusin just for himself needs a big performance.
Yeah, so is this his first game since Karabag? I think probably first start, but is it his first appearance?
I think it's his first appearance, yeah.
I think he might have come off the bench in one game. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, he needs to get back into the swing of things, and it's important for him to show what he's capable of when he's on the pitch. Obviously, the last game for him, his last start ended abruptly, and it was a massive shame for him, but at the end of the day, he made a big mistake and he has to own that. But let's hope he can kind of step up in this one.
Yeah. And alongside him, we're going to go with Mickey van der Ven. I was thinking Mickey wasn't going to play this game, and I prefer him probably not to play the game. But seeing as he has done the press conference, it usually goes hand in hand with starting the game.
Yeah, maybe he did it because he's a Dutch player and they're playing a Dutch team, but usually that's what happens when they do a press conference. They're usually starting, which does hold questions about future games. Will he start Sunday? Will he start in the Carabao Cup against Man City? I guess that remains to be seen because we all have 3 games in 6 days, and that's a lot of football, even for someone like Van de Ven, who we know has had injury problems before. But it looks like he will be playing, so hopefully that just goes on a way to keeping RZ quiet.
And then to make up that back four will be, I think, the Europa League ever present so far in Ben Davies.
Yeah, we think we're going to put him at left back. Obviously, a doggy has been playing a lot and didn't look so comfortable against Brighton, although came back against West Ham. Looked okay after an early mistake. So I think Ange's going to try and give him a rest, and if it's not working, I guess you could always bring him on. But we're going to put Davies in.
Yeah, with Ben Davies as well, you'd assume he'd probably have the captain's armband on the night as well. I think, I think he's done fairly well in Europa League so far. Obviously, he started at left back, I believe, in the last game, and then moved back to centre back because Archie Gray looked a bit out of sorts at centre back. Then he moved over to left back, but we do think that he does come back in at left back in this game. Moving on into the number 6 position, we're going to go with Rodrigo Bentancur on the back of the really top performance from Bissouma in the weekend. We think that he's going to keep Bissouma again for the league game on the weekend and stick Bentancur in Europe.
Yeah, it was a slight surprise, wasn't it? Bissouma got the nod on Saturday. So, given that, obviously, I think he's going to want to keep that position fresh. And I think Bissouma then is probably going to start on Sunday. So, Bentancur gets the nod on this one.
Moving on into the midfield, the number 8, we're going to go for Pape Matar Sarr, the Europa League Messi, scoring every game at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And he's playing so well. Had a brilliant second half against West Ham, following some good form on international duty and good form before the international break, coming on against West Ham, Man United and getting an assist, and Karabag scoring a goal, and Ferencváros as well. So he's in a good run of form. It's good to keep that momentum going. Some might argue he might be in line to start on Sunday, but I guess maybe we'll have to start this one to earn that spot even more. But he had a great second half. So what's interesting actually, what I've noticed is the last couple games, this is taking into account his Senegal performance and the Spurs one, he's been playing in a double pivot in the left side on the left midfield. Not left midfield, left centre mid. So I wonder if that's something that Ange has looked at, because he came on against West Ham and moved to the left. Obviously, Deki plays on the right, but he was on the left. He was definitely on the left for Senegal. And I wonder if that's maybe something Ange is looking at.
Potentially. Has Bergvall usually been on the right or the left?
I think usually on the left, usually like where Madison plays. But there's no reason why he can't play on the right, I guess.
No. So maybe the next player that we're going to talk about is Lucas Bergvall. So maybe it will be Bergvall on the right and Pape Matar Sarr on the left in the centre position. And I think Bergvall as well, I wouldn't say I've been extremely disappointed with him, but I feel like his performances maybe hasn't been as strong as maybe the flashes that he's shown in the early stage of the season.
I think he'd be fine. I think he's an 18-year-old kid. He's still finding his way at Spurs, and I think he's been pretty good actually for his age, to be honest. So I'm pretty happy with him. I guess it's a case that does Madison start after being taken off at half time, and if we're going in this way, do we want to keep a bit of that core kind of high quality first team players in the team? And if that is the case, then Madison probably does start ahead of Bergvall. But I still think Bergvall, he didn't play at all on the weekend, so these are the real times he's going to get his opportunity to shine. So I think Ange understands that, and he has started both Europa League games so far, so we do think he's going to come in from the start here.
Yeah, so that's Bentancur, Sarr and Bergvall in the central positions. On the right hand on the right hand side of the attack is going to be the star boy, Mr. Mikey Moore, and obviously he put in a really strong showing last time out against Ferencváros. Let's hope for more of the same, if not even better, and get on the score sheet.
Yeah, obviously Brandon Johnson played 90 minutes on the weekend, I think, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I think he's going to need a rest. Mikey Moore obviously had such a great outing at Ferencváros, albeit didn't get a goal or assist, but obviously went close a few times. And I think a lot of people are obviously going to be looking at him in this one, and very, very excited to see him again. Also in front of the home crowd is a different kind of atmosphere. Hopefully that even boosts his confidence. Again, same with Bergvall, didn't play at all on the weekend, so he should be fresh for this one. And I'm just very, very excited to see Mikey Moore back on the pitch, and let's hope he starts on the right.
Yeah, absolutely. In the number 9, we are going to give a rest to Big Dom Solanke and Richarlison in line for his first start of the season, I believe.
Yeah, he spoke about Richarlison in his press conference. He was asked, is he ready to play? He said he's had 2 good weeks of training and he's, ready to get going, which was a bit different to his answer to Odebear. So that it does imply that maybe he's thinking about starting Richarlison and not Odebear in this one. Obviously, Richarlison has had such a disrupted season so far with injury. Ange is saying thinks that it is behind him. Hopefully, we get a fully fit Richarlison because that could be very, very valuable to us. And I think on this case, I do think Richarlison's probably going to start. I wouldn't be surprised if, on the hour or half time, Solanke comes in, just because I think they want to ease Richarlison back into the fold. But I think he'll definitely play a lot of minutes. I think it's probably going to be from the start. But I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Solanke starts and Richarlison comes on, with a big chunk of the game to go. Yeah,
it'll be important for Richarlison just to get those minutes in his legs because he's been in and out, well, pretty much out for the whole season so far. Last season played with injuries. They wanted to err on the side of caution with bringing him back, and if we're led to believe he's been fit for a while, actually, just getting back to full fitness. So it'll be good for him to get those minutes in his legs, and if he does start, I'm backing him to score as well. On the left, to make up that final 11, we are going to go for Timo Werner. There is a slight chance for Odebear to start this game. He is back and he has been training in, and Ange says he is available for selection, but we think Werner will just about get the nod with Odebear getting some minutes at the end.
Yeah, I mean, Ange said when asked about Odebear, he said that he's obviously been back in training for a week, but he said it's game dependent on his minutes. So that implies he's not going to start and he will come on depending on how the game is going.
He's what on his minutes?
It's game dependent. As he was asked, is he ready to get minutes in this game? He said it's game dependent. So that implies he's not going to start. So I do think, obviously, with Son not playing, we obviously probably pretty much just leaves Timo on that left-hand side. He's kind of the only one at the moment, to be honest, who's really not playing that well. And obviously, it's a shame because he's a player low on confidence, and I don't want to keep bang on about his lack of quality and how frustrating he can be. But at the end of the day, everyone else in the team at the moment does seem to be going through a good period. If I look at the overall who's having good seasons and stuff, he's the only one who I'm like, maybe Romero as well, but he's the main one who you can probably point to saying you've just not really had any good games yet and you need to start upping your game. So hopefully he can do something in this game, boost his confidence, because you can just see when he came on against West Ham, so low on confidence, again dribbling off the pitch, doing things that when Werner's at full flight, he's not doing. So let's just hope this can be a confidence-boosting game for him. Yeah,
I mean, on Werner, he has had a couple of performances, against Manchester United, and there was another one in there where he's doing all the right things up until he gets into the 6-yard box, or when it comes to that crossing, when it comes to that shooting. And I think that's just what Werner is, to be honest. You're looking at him. This is what he's shown over the past, ever since he's had those big seasons at RB Leipzig. That's what he's shown to be. And last season he had moments where you would think it would boost his confidence, but then he just reverts back to type. So I think that's just what Werner is now.
Yeah, hopefully you're wrong.
Hopefully I'm wrong, yeah. But let's run through that team with you guys one more time. This is our predicted lineup to face AZ Alkmaar in our third Europa League game tomorrow night at Tottenham. It's Vicario in goal, Archie Gray right back, Ben Davis left back, Van der Ven and Dragoshin centre back pairing, with Rodrigo Bentancur, Pape Matar and Lucas Bergwijn as the middle three, with Mikey Moore on the right, Timo Werner on the left, and Richarlison up top. So that is our predicted lineup going into the game.